We make dental billing and insurance easier to understand. Subscribe to stay updated and help us grow the channel.
We have picked a date for October 10th. We are doing a Beyond the Operatory Workshop. And for those of you who are like, what is Beyond the Operatory? So a little history. Dr. Tony Stefano, who's a good friend of both of ours, he and I started this workshop. I don't even know when. It might have been 15 years ago. Who knows? And we held it multiple times over many years. And it wasn't about how to teach you how to be a speaker, a consultant, or a sales rep or anything. It was basically for anybody who is exploring getting out of the office because of the clinical side and the work side of dentistry. Because unfortunately, either things change, either you have disability, pain, ergonomics, or as we had plenty of dentists come in within their first year, second year, they'd spent all this time and they realized they don't want to do this. They're in the wrong place. So what are my options? And like managers would come in and say, what is like, can I do something outside of being a manager? Like, yes, of course. And so that's the history of Beyond the Operatory. It really was for all members of the dental office. And then Angela and I, we had dinner one night at Star of the North, and we were like, I was like, yeah, you know what I really miss presenting? And you were like, yeah, Beyond the Operatory. And she's like, yeah, why don't we do it? And I was like, you know what? Why don't we do it? And so that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be it's a speaking and coaching focus. So again, we're not going to teach you from soup to nuts how to do it. But if you've ever been curious of what is the income potential, what is out there, is it only speaking and consulting? We're going to walk you through that. But also you may take it and realize like you're good. And that's okay. But aren't you seeing on Facebook, like everybody wants to work remote nowadays? Everybody wants to go do something else nowadays. And I'm like, man, the office is so much fun. Why do you want to leave? But if you do, what can you do? So do you hear that when you're going on site? Like, hey, I want to do what you do.
I want to do what you do. How do you do what you do?
Yeah.
And there's so many questions. And I think that's what Beyond the Operatory is going to help you answer, and to see what lane might work for you, if it would work for you, or maybe solidify that you're going to stay in the office, and that's okay too. But there's lots of conversations that we're going to have Beyond the Operatory that'll just help fill you with information, be able to answer questions that have probably been burning questions. And it's real. It's me and Teresa. We're going to share great to you. It's not Facebook, everybody's opinion. We're going to tell you what's worked and what hasn't worked.
And also what I needed as a full-time manager, I needed someone to just tell me if the finances were going to work.
Right.
Like if I'm going to take a step out of this good job, am I doing it for the same amount? Because that's not really a great lateral move. I'm now an entrepreneur paying more taxes. If you're going to make the same amount of money, you actually are making less being an entrepreneur. And a lot of these people are wanting to do remote billing and they're 1099. Well, when you're 1099, if you're at the same hourly rate, which you're not going to get as a remote biller, if you're a manager, you're actually like losing a lot of money. So I think what I wanted to do when Tony and I started is be real about like what the expectations are. Because you and I have seen people come in and go back to work in an office when they realized it wasn't for them or the money wasn't there.
Right.
You know, so, and you took Beyond the Operatory. You were one of the people that took it. And one thing that I was very honest about, and so was Tony, was if you think you're going to make $80,000, $100,000, and you're making that now, if you want to be a speaker consultant, you're not going to make that the first year. You're just not. So you have to decide like what kind of hustle you want to put into it. So talk about that hustle though, Angela. What's the hustle like for real?
The hustle it's a hustle every day. Depending on what you want here. I mean, and that's the beautiful thing of it. Early, I hustled a lot to build that reputation, that client base, to get referrals, to speak. And then just like probably in your career, you know, it ebbs and flows. What do you want? What do you want more of? And what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be a side hustle. So, yeah.
And a lot of it is figuring out what do you really want to be known for and what do you want to. Well, and if you had to pick one thing that you were going to help offices with, what is that one thing? Because so many times we see managers leave to be a consultant and they're like, well, I was good at treatment planning. I was good at finances. I was good at leadership. Well, okay, but you need to niche down, because if you don't, then you're going to be really stretched thin. I mean, a full practice management consultant, you are one. It's, you still have to rely on other resources because it's hard to be all of it, right?
Yeah, you can't know everything about everything and keep up with everything. I'm like, things are changing all the time. And you've got to decide, what do I want to be really good at, if that is a piece of it, or know who you can bring in alongside of you that's going to complement your weaknesses. And I think at Beyond the Operatory, we'll be able to dive into some of that stuff, because what I was good at in the practice, how does that translate in every practice? Because it's not like the one you work in right now.
So that was a really big thing. We would have girls come in. It was mostly girls. I'll just say girls. We would have girls come in. Their offices were amazing, high producing. They had things down to a science, great systems and all of this. And then they went out and started consulting, and they're like, oh my gosh, none of my stuff works. Because if you think your office is really well run, you're right. If you think the rest of the offices are like that, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. Haven't you, like every time, this is how it was for me. Every time I thought I found a terrible office that I had to fix, I was like, oh, this has got to be the worst. It was never the worst.
No, there's more. There's more. Look,
So,
you've got to be willing to invest in yourself. And that's a great first step in Beyond the Operatory, because you only know what you've been experienced with so far. And there's offices out there that have different problems and stuff that you may have never seen before. And
you would not even imagine some of the stuff that we've heard. I mean, honestly, like, we're going to see on the beach. We should probably just get a bunch of us together and like just crowdsource the worst things we've ever seen in an office. I mean, we could do a whole book on affairs in the office.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Holy cow. What on earth? It's an epidemic.
It is an epidemic.
And
well, that's remote working.
I mean, so listen, there is nothing in my life where I've ever heard the whir of a drill or the hiss of an autoclave and thought, ooh, yeah, I got to have some of that. Like, what? There's nothing sexy in the office, but somehow people make it work. So
that is so true. So true.
And will you as a consultant be brought into the middle of that? Yeah. So, and then there's just bad performance, all of it. So I think, I'm not trying to talk people out of leaving the operatory, but the fact is, when you are a high achiever in an office, as you and I both were, there is going to reach a point where you start to think, what else is there? I feel like I've done everything I can here. And then there is the guilt that comes with it, because you're like, man, I work so well here. They're going to really hate to lose me, and I don't want to leave, but what else is there? And then it starts to gnaw at you, like, there's got to be more. So if you're at that point, this is going to be a good workshop for you, because then it will settle your nerves if you decide to stay, because you'll be like, oh, they told me all about it and I'm not doing it. Or you'll be like, you know what? I think I can do that. I think I want to do that. But the thing is, you can't jump into this big pool and not know what you're getting into. And I think that was what was very scary for me and for you. I mean, we both were part of networking organizations. You were with a larger consulting organization. I feel like somewhere along the way, someone could have pulled me aside and said, so here's the real thing.
Hey, yeah.
Just so you know, you should probably put money aside for this, and you should probably not spend your time there. Like, I just wish somebody had done that. That's why Tony and I started it, because he's like, yeah, I tell people, and if they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. Tony's a lot more direct than I am. But I remember thinking, and he told me, this is why he and I got to know each other. He told me, he's like, why are you spending all your time doing that? That's not going to do anything for you. And he was right. He was right. And I feel like we just need to be like that little angel on some people's shoulders and help them make the decision.
Yeah, help them make the decision. I like that.
But again, we're not making the decision for you. Yeah. We're just laying it out there. So
you know. Lots of information.
Yeah. We're going to be like the Google Maps of your career. You can go that way, or you can go back in the house. It's fine. And
they're both good. They're
Both
both good. Yeah.
fine. So we've got it set for, and it's going to be in Northern Virginia. It's going to be October 10th. You're going to want to come in the day before, obviously, but also I think we're probably going to just do like a happy hour, get to know you type thing. And it's a packed day. Like we're going the full day, like lunch is going to be eaten at the table where we're talking. And it's a small, we should probably mention that. We're not looking for more than 20 people at all. It's not manageable. Tony and I think the biggest group that we did was 15, but we covered everything, dentists, hygienist, sales, and all that. I think a day is 20 people is plenty of people to get lots of conversations. You'll meet other people looking to do the same thing. And then if you want to stay and enjoy Washington, D.C. in October, which honestly, not a bad time to come to D.C., you can. I'm not a tour guide, so please don't ask me. I'll send you links, but Norman does that. It's so funny. When people want to come visit DC, I'm like, and Norman's like, I'll take them. So,
Wow.
yeah. And then I think, and we also talked about having a follow-up webinar too, just to check in, see how you're doing. And we're going to have a WhatsApp support group for us for, I think, 3 months or 6 months or something like that. But we're such talkers. It's probably going to stay open.
I know it'll stay.
It will stay. And I think, honestly, what I really enjoy about our relationship is we're at the point now where we're just like ready to just give it all back. So
yes, give it all back.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be fun. We're working now, like you're really going nuts with the book and massaging it all together. So it's going to be so much fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And so also one other thing you were talking about was encouraging them to do their strengths.
Yeah,
you want to talk about that?
We're going to talk about Gallup strengths, which just helps you. It's who you are. They don't change over time. And we know there's tons of personality tests out there, that kind of thing. So this is one of those that taps into your natural given strengths. And then how do you leverage that for what you want? So that'll be fun too.
Many of you have already done it, with your offices. So bring that in. But if not, we'll put a link in the registration. Registration's not up yet, but maybe even by the time of this publication, it might be, I'm sure it will be up by the time of this publication. But I do hope that you consider joining us, only because we're tons of fun, but also you're going to get a lot out of it.
If you learned something new today, subscribing is the best way to support the channel and keep learning with us.
Would you like to hear more? Follow the link for the full episode.